Welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann on this Thursday, June 23rd. Getting ready to break down tonight's night slate of games. Every time I say night slate, there's this Jason Aldean song called Night Train. And it's like...
You just think of that every time?
The night slate, you know, just like that.
Can we get some more singing?
No, absolutely not.
Come on.
So, really quickly, I thought of this funny story yesterday. Buck Showalter was talking about Max Scherzer. He's got a minor league rehab assignment, and he's playing for the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. And Showalter was very, I guess, confused about the name of the Rumble Ponies.
It's funny that he was confused, though, because he is the coach of the Mets.
Right. Maybe he's just not as familiar with the minor league teams, but there are some really funny minor league names, so I thought I would kind of go over them. By the way, the reason the Binghamton Rumble Ponies are named that, they had a fan contest to rename them. They used to be the Binghamton Mets, which made sense.
Yes.
However, the Name the Team fan contest chose Rumble Ponies to honor the city's Carousel Capital of the World nickname. Apparently, Rumble Ponies is another name for a carousel. Right. There is no carousel at the field, though. I think they should get one. So some other weird minor league team names. Montgomery Biscuits. Tri-City Dust Devils, Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, Albuquerque Isotopes, Columbia Firefly, whose motto is Let's Glow.
It's a good one.
Richmond Flying Squirrels, the Rumble Ponies, of course, the Lansing Lugnuts, the Akron Rubber Ducks, which, of course, pays homage to the motor... It's in Lansing, Michigan, so paying homage to automobiles and the manufacturing of them. The Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Yeah, I've seen this one. I like that one.
Yeah. Is that your favorite?
It is my favorite. What do you think of the Savannah Bananas?
Oh, the Savannah Bananas are amazing and have a spectacular TikTok account that I enjoy. I actually saw the HBO Real Sports about them. And it's actually pretty fascinating. Some people hate the Savannah Bananas because they go against they're basically the Globetrotters of minor league baseball, right?
Apparently that whole kind of division is kind of like that too, where they all play and
That's kind of
have
fun.
little skits and dances and
I'm about it.
Try and be a little more entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's fun.
They're fun.
Okay. Let's get to our night slate for tonight and talk about our high-owned pitchers for today to get you set for your daily fantasy lineups. First, we're going to talk about some high-owned pitchers, and we're going to start with Astros lefty Framber Valdez going up against the Yankees, 45% owned in DraftKings, and this is the battle of the Bronx between two powerhouses of the American League. You've got the Yankees, who have the best record in baseball, going up against the Astros, who are second in the American League. Could this be a playoff preview? This is just a larger picture here. We'll go into Framber Valdez. 2.78 ERA. 2.19 opponent average. Last outing, 3 earned runs on 8 hits, 7 strikeouts in 6 innings versus the White Sox. Going up against the Yankees, they have the 3rd highest slugging percentage. Looking forward to seeing this one. Yeah,
and I mean, Valdez has been great this year. And obviously the field likes him. Yankees, as you alluded to, are a great hitting team. 333 WOBA, 219 ISO versus lefties. But they do strike out at 23.5%. And in 46 plate attempts, they are hitting 282 off Framber. However, with all of that, Framber does still have a 5-star rating score for LineStar. And his projection, though, is 15.19, which is the 4th highest on his on the slate. There is a decent safety rating, but really not much leverage due to the fact that he's so high owned.
Gotcha. So I'm excited for that matchup. Let's talk about the Padres, though. Your Padres. See, we're getting both of our teams in today. Right-handed pitcher Joe Musgrove going up against the Phillies, 43% owned on DraftKings. He is the highest projected pitcher on LineStar on the night slate. Coming off the COVID list, I believe.
Yep.
1.59 ERA, second best in baseball. 196 opponent average. He's flirted with 2 no-hitters. He leads the Cy Young poll. Last time out versus the Cubs, 2 runs, 5 hits, 9 strikeouts, and 7 innings of work. What do you see from him going up against the Phillies today?
Yeah, he is the highest owned, or I think he will be the highest owned pitcher when everything ends up shaking out.
Yeah.
And the slate locks. But for good reason. He's been pretty much an ace this year. He's been absolutely terrific. 3.3 FIP over the last 20, 2.63 over the last 5, 26% K rate. He has a 5-star alert score, high safety score. They also have the lowest implied runs against. So everything about Musgrove is kind of looking good today. Also, he has the highest projection for a pitcher on the slate by a pretty decent margin, and the consensus projection is also the highest on the slate. So not only are we liking him the best, seems like a lot of people around the industry are too.
Yeah. Little note here. Kyle Schwarber has reached base in 26 consecutive games for the Phillies, but they've lost 2 in a row.
The
Bryce Harper's back, though.
Schwarber June is real. He did it last year where he just was on that insane home run streak, and he started again this year. I think he already has 8 in June. So.
Crazy. So having himself a month here.
He is.
How about White Sox righty Johnny Cueto? Today going up against the Orioles. He's about 40% owned on DraftKings. 2.95 ERA, 2.29 opponent average. Some solid numbers. Last game against the Astros, he held them to just 2 hits in 7 scoreless innings, 5 strikeouts for him on that game. And going up against an Orioles team who is at the bottom in terms of league average.
Yeah, and Cueto has been good this year, but he's been inconsistent. He has shown some really high ceiling games, and then the floor that's through the roof, or through the floor, like just, like he
in
just,
the basement.
He's just been super inconsistent, but he is projected as our second highest value option, and he's the 5th highest projection on the slate. He is super cheap, 3.5 star alert score. StatCast data is sketchy, though. 42% fly balls, 28% hard contact. But there is a really high average exit velocity, and his combined K rate is the 3rd highest on the slate at 20.3%. So I see why people are going there, but there's also some inconsistency there, so you could stack against him maybe too.
Orioles, they can be sneaky good.
They can be. They can hit the ball.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at our low-owned pitchers for today. Rangers lefty Ranger Suarez going up against the Padres. 32% owned on DraftKings. 4.43 ERA, 2.70 opponent average. And righties are hitting him much harder. 2.86 average, 830 OPS. Last game, 3 earned runs, 6 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, 5 2/3 against the Nats. And basically after a really breakout 2021, he just hasn't lived up to those expectations this year.
Yeah, he's just been kind of meh so far.
Yeah, super inconsistent.
But,
go ahead.
Yeah, but we do have a small slate here. So if we're trying to get different, we're going to have to take some, different, maybe awkward approaches that you're not too into. But Ranger Suarez, Padres are hot right now, even without Manny Machado, which is a little scary, but we are in a pitcher-friendly park. Suarez has a 22% hard contact rate, which is very low, 26% soft contact rate, and a 4-star alert rating for today. So there are a lot of things to like about him. It's just, who's going to win kind of the battle of who's hot.
Right.
The Padres are going to get to him
So
or not.
if there was a time to start Ranger Suarez, would it be today?
I think it is a decent spot.
All right.
I wouldn't go all in on him for sure, but I could see a path to him, having a good game. He's fairly cheap, so.
All right, let's talk about Orioles righty Dean Kramer going up against White Sox. 5% owned, so really low ownership.
Yep.
Lowest projected pitcher on the night slate. However, he has pretty good numbers. 2.35 ERA, 2.41 opponent average. Last time out, held the Rays scoreless through 6, 5 strikeouts. It was his first scoreless outing in 20 major league starts, so he seemed to have maybe found something. Yeah,
so his kind of story is a little weird. So last year he got absolutely destroyed in the major leagues. FIP of 7, but his career average in the minors is like a 3.7 ERA. So he's been good in the minors, And he hasn't really allowed a ton of hard contact or home runs in the minors. But last season, he got blown up and everybody was hitting home runs off him. His, so far this season and in 2020, they weren't hitting home runs off him. So something was going on last season that players were seeing him and hitting home runs. So far, he's not doing that this year. 3.46 FIP. He's looked good in his last 2 outings. And the White Sox aren't that dangerous versus righties. 300 WOBA, .138 ISO, strikeout 23%. So I can kind of see a path to where he may be decent, especially at his very cheap price. Another thing to note is Robert left the game early yesterday because of leg soreness. So if he's out, one of their better hitters will be missing from the lineup too.
All right. Let's get to our stacks of the day. High-owned stacks. White Sox against the guy we just talked about. So basically the White Sox have the 4th best average. They have a really good team batting average right now. So I can see why people are headed there. They are a bit banged up, though. I don't know. What do you think about this play?
Yeah, so they are LineStar's best value stack, and they are the highest owned stack across the industry. Part of the reason why I said Kramer was because of the leverage you would get if he does have a good game. But he's definitely the worst pitcher on the slate. He has the least track record. He's the biggest question mark. And he got lit up last season with a FIP of 7, allowing 2.9 home runs per 9. But in 2020, 2.7 FIP. ERA and a FIP of 3.46. And he's not really letting a ton of home runs. So if he can keep the ball in the ballpark, I could see there's a path there. But the White Sox do have the highest implied total on the slate. So most likely the White Sox are the play.
Yeah.
But I do see a path.
Kramer, he was a highly touted prospect, and he was actually a part of that Manny Machado trade from the Orioles to the Dodgers way back when. And
in the minors,
certainly they think highly of him.
In the minors, he has a 0 ERA this year.
All right. So maybe something clicked. It happens.
It could.
We'll see. Houston going up against Jameson Taillon. JMO's got a 2.70 ERA, 2.48 opponent average. Last outing held the Blue Jays scoreless through 5 2/3, 8 strikeouts for him. Houston 18th in average, but top 10 in slugging the last 30 days, and they've been kind of turning it on.
Yeah, a lot of that is because Jordan. Jordan is just insanely hot. But Houston's the top projected stack on LineStar today. You're going to have to pay for it, but the projection is there. But Taillon's been really good, so it is hard for me to want to stack against him. He's only given up more than 3 runs once this season.
Right.
And then if you do get him out, you have the Yankees bullpen, which is a good bullpen.
Exactly.
So not quite as heavy. Not quite as excited about the Houston stack. I would rather take my chances with the White Sox if I'm playing the high-owned stacks.
So let's talk about where we can take some more risks. And let's talk about our low-owned stacks for today. Orioles going up against White Sox righty Johnny Cueto, who's got a 2.95 ERA, 2.29 opponent average. Last game against the Astros held him to 2 hits and 7 scoreless, 5 strikeouts. So he has shown good, little inconsistent though, like you mentioned earlier. So Baltimore, like we mentioned, is a sneaky good team, and they have the ability to put up runs.
They do, and LineStar has them as the second best value stack, so they are a cheaper stack. Cueto's best years are well behind him. Like I talked about in the Cueto part, he is good, and he has had some really good games, but he's also been inconsistent. In 4 of his 7 starts, he's given up 3 or more runs. He's allowing a lot of fly balls, a very high exit velocity. There's a 4.3 implied total for Baltimore, which is only 0.5 off of the White Sox. So the White Sox are getting all this ownership, but the implied total is fairly close. So I could see a pivot to Baltimore from the White Sox.
Let's talk about the Padres. Another low-owned stack for today, going up against Rangers lefty Ranger Suarez. And I kind of like this play a lot because Ranger Suarez given up a 286 average to right-handed bats. And like I mentioned earlier, Suarez
He's been
not lived up to what the Phillies were looking for from him this season. And the Padres, coming off a sweep without Manny Machado.
Yep.
Could be a good game for them if, Yeah,
and they've been hot lately. Suarez has been meh. He's got beat up a few times this season. In 8 of his 13 starts, he's allowed at least 3 runs. So it shows that more often than not, he's been allowing runs. He is a 4.2 FIP over the last 5, which obviously isn't great. It's not terrible, but not great. And Padres have been hot. There's no reason they can't get to him today.
Right. And he doesn't go too deep into games either. And the Phillies bullpen just is not that great.
Yeah, and the Phillies defense isn't great.
Right.
So, a couple mistakes by the defense, and it totally changes everything as well.
All right. So those are your stacks for today. Let's get to our sleeper picks for today. And this is where we go into LineStar and basically sort by value. DraftKings sleeper pick of the day is Padres outfielder Nomar Mazara, $2,300 on DraftKings. He's going up against the lefty Ranger Suarez, who, like we've been mentioning all show, he has been struggling this season. And Mazara is a lefty bat who actually crushes lefties at a 571 average, 1286 OPS this season against lefties. So reverse splits for him. They did give him the day off yesterday, too. I kind of like that. Get a little rest, Nice and fresh. Let's take a look at our FanDuel sleeper pick of the day, and it's going to be Austin Hayes coming in at $3,000, and he's projected to have 12.97 points on FanDuel. Became the 6th player in Orioles history to hit for the cycle yesterday in 4 at-bats too. It didn't take him long. Going up against Johnny Cueto, and Hayes has a 303 average, 836 OPS against righties. So that bodes well for him. So I like that play.
Yeah, Hayes has been great lately, especially yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Good old cycle.
Be sure to get the LineStar Premium app to optimize your lineup and just absolutely crush daily fantasy. Lock in your membership before football season too, because when football season starts, then our prices go up a little bit to $29.99 per month. So right now you can get it at $19.99 per month. So lock in that price before you have to sign up on September 8th is when those prices go up. So that's where we're getting all our information for all of our reports here on your value plays. Now it's time for our home run calls of the day. How about Andrew McCutchen going yard for me yesterday?
Yeah, he
Love
did.
to see that. Remember, you can play along on Twitter at LineStar app. Retweet us, let us know who you're tailing, or retweet us or tweet us your own home run pick. Get it right. You could win your choice of a free LineStar subscription or just straight cash. Love some cash every now and then. Who doesn't need a little change in their pocket?
Yep.
Our money doesn't wiggle, it folds,
Jiggle.
Thank you. I always say wiggle.
Yeah. All right.
Doesn't wiggle either. Okay. Aaron Judge. Maybe a little bit if you got it in your pocket and you're doing a shimmy.
So where are you going today?
All right. You go first.
All right.
I'll let you go first.
I'll go first. So I think home runs could be a little hard to come by today. So I am going to go with the hot hand of Yordan Alvarez versus the Yankees and Jamison Taillon. But Alvarez is absolutely crushing it. He has a 360 average with 4 home runs and an 857 ISO over the last week. And then over the last month, it's even better with a 410 average, 9 home runs, and a 379 ISO. I think he's going to hit one again today.
Because I saw that you took Yordan Alvarez, I thought this could be a pretty fun home run battle.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going Aaron Judge. He's not as good against lefties. Only 7 of his 27 home runs
27 home runs.
have been against lefties. But this game is at Yankee Stadium where he has 15 of his 27 home runs. Yeah, he's hit 10 home runs in the last 30 days. He had 2 yesterday. So this is an AL home run battle in the Bronx.
Yordan's going to go for that short porch, though. thing is going over.
All right.
Little League
Let us
ballpark.
know who you're picking. Follow us on Twitter and let us know in the comments below. Now it's time for our prop bets of the day, and we've got a nice new contest for you. Play along with us in our prop bets. All you have to do is make sure you've hit like and you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and then comment below. If we both get our picks right, one random person will win $60. Now, all of our picks are available at the Underdog Sports app. You don't need to be in one of the states where, the prop bets are legal. So that's what's one of the cool things about the Underdog Sports app. It kind of, finds the loopholes.
Yep, it's a game of skill.
Game of skill.
So.
Use the link below, and new users who deposit at least $10, you will get a free 3-month subscription to LineStar and get your deposit matched up to $100. So we're giving you $60 if we win, possibly. So lots of free money right there.
Yep. Just have you come join us. Anyways.
Prop bets for today. Tyler, where are you headed?
I am going with my San Diego Padres and Joe Musgrove for over 5.5 Ks. That's at minus 135 on sportsbooks. For Underdog, it is going over 6 Ks. He's hit this in 10 of 12 starts this year and is facing a Phillies team that is prone to striking out. They strike out at 22% versus righties, and they have the eighth most strikeouts on the year of any team. So I think Musgrove's going to hit it today.
All right. I'm going on the Underdog Sports app. Jake Cronenworth over 7.5 fantasy points. I'll also mention some other sportsbook ones that I like as well. Cronenworth is a lefty bat who has reverse splits. 250 average on the season, but against lefties, 287. And going up against Phillies lefty Ranger Suarez, who's kind of struggled with some command issues this year. So I think that bodes well for Cronenworth to hit that 7.5 fantasy points. I also think the Padres have just been doing really well. So
they've been hot.
If he gets on base some way, he might collect a run. And that leads me to total runs. Over a half is plus 110. He's accounted for a run in 14 of the last 18 games. So if you're using some of those sports books, I like that prop as well. His over 1.5 bases is at plus 145 as well. But again, you can find that 7.5 fantasy points prop bet on Underdog. We'll put the link below. Just click it and sign up. And again, if we both hit our props, you could win $60. Make sure to make sure that you're subscribed, and comment below. That's all you got to do. As always, be sure to get our LineStar Premium app. Lock in your membership now before football season starts. It's $19.99. Really great value for you. It helps you optimize your lineup so that you can crush it in your daily fantasy. You can crush it in your league-long fantasy. Or if you're placing prop bets, it's a great tool to help you just get all the information you need before you lock in those bets. That's going to do it for us today. We will see you tomorrow. Good luck in all your bets and your daily fantasy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Thank you, guys.